get concentration like Kat does every goddamn time she takes the stage. And even though they're up here and I'm still down here, every time I get a chance to listen to, perform with, shit, anytime I sit next to one of these poets, I learn something new. And every time that happens, I come closer and closer to realizing that I am not insignificant, I am not unappreciated, I am a rhymer. And here, I will give you a piece without one rhyme, and I'll do it every time. So, that was the first poem I ever wrote without one rhyme in it. And from that point on, my style continued to change and evolve, and I was surrounded by a lot of amazingly talented people who helped me out constantly with my frustration and really molded me into most of the writing you hear now. Let me see what we've got for time, and I can figure out how many more pieces I am going to be allowed to do. So, all right, I've got about 6 more minutes. So that is literally just enough time to do this last piece. This is the most recent piece I've written, and you'll be able to tell I've started experimenting more with straight storytelling and putting that into a more spoken word context, and seeing where I can go with that. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on this, so this is mainly where my style is currently at. And it's a story about 2 individuals that I feel a lot of people can relate to, and I get told constantly most of the people that I perform for in some way, shape, or form really vibe with it and what it says, and they really come to get to know the characters that are in this piece. It's a little longer than most of my pieces are. It runs close to about 6 minutes, and so I'm going to go ahead and do this, and this will be my last piece, and I hope you guys enjoyed the set. Justin was a reflection of a simple sketch on blank paper. Just shades of gray placed on a page with shaky hands, a stick figure in nameless clothes. You wouldn't notice him if he stood between you and the rest of your day. That was okay. He didn't mind not being noticed. A life alone let him be closest to a love that never hurt him like his home. Now Ashley was a 125-pound chain-link fence just like Justin. People seemed to look right through her, but if you took the time to squint, you'd see her scribbling in her pad everything that made her anything but irrelevant. See, Ashley writes kaleidoscope sunsets on horizons and 1080p believe you me diesel leaks from this girl's pen like she got it at BP. Dreams splinter in Pythagorean brilliance every time blue parallel lines are separated by her thoughts. She stays lost in a fog of epic old soul contemplation. And if there was ever an anchor to keep her from floating all the way out to uncharted imagination, his name was Justin. You could say she knew him well, from the type of pens and paints he liked to use to which jeans he'd wear with what shoes, and while most girls doodled their crush's names on a page, Ashley wrote stuff like, "Your name belongs on every wall inside my humble cage. My touch can heal each bruise your dad has ever left on you. Please let me walk you home. I've got so many things to say about my plans to make a life for us, anywhere but here." You could say she was obsessed, because not once had her and Justin ever even met. Sometimes she'd even follow him back to where he lived, watched him walk inside that broken home and hear his ass get hit. Then, one day, her run-of-the-mill stalkings took an unsuspecting twist. Instead of going straight home, they took an unfamiliar left, and Ashley watched as Justin jumped a shady barbed wire fence just so he could claim a 10-foot wide blank patch of overpass. And as the rattle of his cans matched the skipping of her heart, she sat hidden in the shadows and wrote a poem about that night, and life, and art. Now Justin had finished his outline and started to fill it in when Ashley saw the black and whites roll up directly underneath him. They were out of their cars, about halfway up the embankment, almost to the bridge, when something came over Ashley. She dropped her pen and pad, picked up an object near the dumpster, and then the quietest girl you ever met made the loudest blanket statement with a brick and cop's windshield anyone has ever heard. The 2 officers immediately whipped around, pulled their service weapons out, and took aim at nothing but an inside-out Norman Rockwell, staring them straight in the face. the tiniest little white girl, standing purposely in the only streetlight available, dragging her feet through a pool of broken glass that reflected the light back all around her like an upside-down halo. She didn't even say anything. She just stood there, arms extended, palms to the sky, filled with an obscene lack of regret and a face like, say I won't do it again. Ashley caught 2 felonies that night. She couldn't have dared less. Now what she didn't know was Justin never left that night. He heard the windshield smash, saw the cops run out from underneath him, hid in some nearby bushes. Watched the entire thing. After they left, Justin went down to the dumpster near where Ashley was hiding, found her notepad, and everything in it. The next morning, Ashley was on her way to school, expecting this day to be no different than the rest, when her school bus came to an abrupt stop in front of the school, unable to even make it in the parking lot for what seemed like 100-child pileup. The commotion was enough to make her look up from her notepad, and that's when she saw what everyone else was already staring at. The entire wall of the cafeteria, corner to corner, grass to roof, every letter of her name, 20 feet tall, painted to look like 6 individual 3-dimensional mosaics made of shattered glass and brick, and in between each letter was script that read, "Your name belongs on every wall that I have yet to paint. My art can heal the parts of you we thought we couldn't save. I'd love for you to walk me home. Let's talk about the day our love for one another takes the place of all this pain." From that day forth, neither of them were invisible ever again. Thank you guys so much. Me and the Cops were moving. It was a pleasure. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I will be back here in the same venue next Saturday from 6:30 to 7. You guys have a fantastic evening. Thank you guys.